We are starting off this morning with some mindful meditation with Dr. B. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. B to tell us a little bit more about that process and to get us going.
Thank you, everyone. So good to be together. It's Sunday morning. It's a good time for meditation. And I have a story about the early Dr. B, before he was Dr. B. I've been into this movement of consciousness and spirituality and quite a long time. And in 1970, I brought the first Vipassana meditation course to the United States and hosted it on our farm, which then became called Anicca Ranch. And Anicca means impermanence. So my colleagues went to India with Ram Dass and met Goenka, who was an Indian meditation teacher of insight meditation. And then they returned to the States, really in a different kind of zone, in a different space. And we were a community. So in that point, 1970, we were a community, and we invited a trained teacher by Goenka to come to our farm in Amherst, outside of Amherst, in the rural, almost in Danusia land, in rural Massachusetts. And we did a 10-day quiet sitting meditation with a Dharma talk each night. And Dharma is the Buddhist teaching on the way of life. So for 10 days, I was sitting quiet and cross-legged and watching my mind go all over the place. And it was quite a process, even an ordeal, but it was silent. And we didn't look at each other. We didn't talk to each other. And this was even before walking meditation. So it was largely sitting with a little break and stretching. And then on the 10th day, when we finally broke and we had, time to talk, the phone rang and we got a call that there was a farm for sale in the area, 160-acre organic farm. And the farmer had 5 kids who didn't want the property, and he wanted to sell it. And he wanted to keep it as a farm. So myself and my buddy went over there and we looked at it and we said, we love it. And he sold us that farm. And so the farm became a meditation center as well as an organic farm, and also taught me how to grow food, cook food, make food, teach culinary arts. So the Insight Meditation then started, our group started the Insight Meditation Center of Barre, Massachusetts, which then started Spirit Rock in Marin County in California. And Vipassana Meditation is a simple, traditional, quiet Buddhist meditation that has really made a big difference in the culture and the mindfulness. So the young Ed was fortunate to be part of that experience, and it's been part of my DNA ever since. So go figure. And today, I'd like us to share our understanding and practice of mindfulness and meditation. There are 2 different practices, but they can be combined into a single practice. So I'd like to ask Nita if she would kick it off for us and tell us a little bit about how she comes to the practice of mindfulness.
For me, mindfulness has become more being aware of myself and the things that I'm doing. So when I'm mindful, even when you're eating or doing anything, it does not have to be just being in your thoughts, but it can be even having tea or coffee. Like yesterday, you had a great session with T, and she was talking about mindfulness as to how she sips so slowly. It's just to bring more awareness to whatever we are doing. And for me, that's mindfulness. And meditation is basically being aware of ourselves as to who we are, what are we doing. And once we slow down in our thoughts and procedures, we are able to understand what exactly we want to do. We can focus more and bring attention to the situations and the things that we do.
Oh, that's nice. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I feel your mindfulness.
That when I am out in nature,
yes,
that I naturally become more mindful. because where I'm walking, where I'm stepping, what I'm noticing the things around me. I'm feeling the quiet. I'm feeling the noise, or, aware of it. When I'm busy with day-to-day life, cleaning the house, working on the computer, all that stuff, I'm not mindful. And I am trying to become more mindful. I have even tried sitting meditation, and I'm still sort of like, oh. But when I do succeed, like my daughter meditates very deeply and well. When I'm with her, I experience this level of clarity and a relaxation that is very profound. And she never misses, no matter where she is, sitting for 20, 45 minutes, that kind of, and deeply meditating. So I'm trying to bring the outside in, but it's okay. For me, it's habitual noise. So
I can appreciate that. We all can. Christina, any sharing?
When I think of mindfulness, I think of wholeness or holisticness, or thinking of mind, body, soul as all being connected. And I think what happens for me a lot, because I tend to overanalyze things a lot, I very much get caught in my head. And I think that sometimes my body physically tries to tell me things and my soul intuitively tries to tell me things. But I get so caught up in what my mind is racing and thinking about that I don't always notice what my physical body or my intuitive soul is telling me. Or I do notice it and I ignore it because I don't trust it.
Sure.
And so for me, my mindfulness journey is really learning how to read my body better and read my intuition better. And then for meditation, I've always viewed meditation as being part and parcel with also the process of prayer, because I pray every day. Okay. And I look at prayer, which is having a conversation with God. And when I say prayers to God, I'm asking for guidance and assistance. And through the process of meditation, I can receive his response.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's very cool. Nice. Denusia, would you like to share?
Yes, please. Sorry, I just had a diaper situation. Yeah, but we're okay now. Yeah, I found it interesting that you mentioned Spirit Rock connecting with all the work, because it's like there's just all these synchronicities coming together. I visited Spirit Rock when I was working at Good Earth, and yeah, they have an amazing facility. It's almost like stepping into a temple.
That's right.
Yeah. So with meditation, I like my earliest memory of it is like when I was a teenager and I was just like collecting these used books from the library, and there was a book on meditation, and so like I just like went out on a trail and just like sat somewhere and tried to do it, and I just like was unamazed, basically. I was bored. so I just I put the idea aside, and I just like would use my tea as my meditation. So I was working as a barista and then my breaks, and I would have some tea, and I didn't realize it at the time, but that can be considered as mindfulness, right? Just like focusing on one thing and just kind of letting go of everything else for that moment. And the formal meditation that I've received has been in like one of my coworkers at Good Earth, and she went to the Modern Mystery School, and she gave these really great guided meditations, and that was in person. She did one in like the Mirror Community Center, and I just had like all those classic things that meditation can bring, is like the just like these really I felt like my heart energy was expanding, and it just like felt like a fire inside, like in a good way, like a big growing fire. And I felt like I felt some of the sweating, like some of the physical sensations, and I was like, what I was envisioning was deeply felt. And a few days later, then I felt the divine feminine nudging me to go ahead and start calling myself by my middle name.
Okay.
And I later found out that my mother wanted to name that as my first name, and it has a connection with Mother Mary, with the divine feminine.
Good.
So yeah, I believe meditation is so powerful. And I started doing the online guided meditation like when I was diagnosed with diabetes, because I recognized that like I could not handle managing like this physical illness if I don't take care of the mental. And it really helped me like gradually. The guided meditation was like the most helpful for me to like focus on the art. So
beautiful. Thank you. Johan? Mindfulness meditation.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I'm queuing it up. I'm putting it on a tee.
Thanks. I haven't forgotten it. I was mindful of what our topic is. One reflection that really struck me is I was listening to this interview with the Dalai Lama, and he was saying that that he himself struggles with not struggles, but he has moments where he's not mindful or his mind wanders and all that. So it was nice to hear that the Dalai Lama has moments of wandering in and out and all that. So that was nice, reaffirming. But the comment that he also made, he said, it's not about the quantity of time, it's the quality. So he said, even if you have 2 seconds or a minute of being present, that was the important quality. And so I think for me, that was, again, it was just felt reaffirming that whatever struggles and whatever challenges it's not, and I know that, like I'm sure all of us, we have good days, bad moments, bad moments, being really present and all that. So that's one reflection. The other reflection is it's sort of prompted as you were thinking about this. When in my teens, I was very attracted to the whole area of mysticism and mystical traditions, and both all the religious traditions have mystical elements, the Kabbalah, Buddhism, all these, and also outside of religious practices. And so I was thinking, it's sort of the catalyst as a reflection of the intersection between, mindfulness, meditation, and mysticism. And one of the elements of mysticism, as we were talking about early on, is this notion of how do we live, how do we be in the moment, how do we be present? Again, whether words mindfulness, but how do we be present beyond time and place? And so I think there's clearly a relationship between mindfulness, meditation, and mysticism, because mysticism is about being connected to the whole and being transcendent and being beyond time and place. And so I think there's a part of me that is always in that, not always, but either philosophically, but it is that aspiring to be in that beyond time and place. Yeah. And also that not only that beyond time and place, but the mystical element is the notion of the last reflection is that if we had a white piece of paper, right, and you drew it out, the known knowns would be a little small dot. The known unknowns would be a big circle. And just like we say that most of the universe is occupied by space or this vacuum, well, most of everything is these unknown unknowns and the inherent mystery and unknown and the unknowableness of everything around us. So, and that is the air of the space of the universe. That is it. So, so being mindful, mystical, and meditating, how do I feel comfortable and just delight being in that unknown or that, that realm.
Wow. That's something to meditate on. I'm going to share a poem that I put to music as a song to cue us into meditation. And it's a call and response. And the poem was written by Thich Nhat Hanh, who's a very well-known Vietnamese monk who came to Europe and came to the United States and brought a very beautiful mindfulness practice. And he's still teaching. So I'll sing a phrase and you sing it back. So unmute yourself, please. You ready to go? Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
I am blooming
I am blooming
as a flower.
as a flower.
I am fresh
I am fresh
as the dew.
as the dew.
I am solid
I am solid
as a mountain.
as a mountain.
I am firm
I am firm
as the earth.
as the earth.
I am free.
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 Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
I am water.
I am water.
Reflecting
Reflecting
what is real.
what is real.
What is true.
What is true.
And I feel
And I feel
there is space
there is space
deep inside me.
deep inside me.
I am free.
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 I
I am free.
We are free.
We
We are free.
We are free.
We are
free.
We are free.
We are
We are free.
All be 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 free.
All be
All
free.
be free.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
I am free.
I am free.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
I am free.
I am
I
free.
am free.
I am free.
We are free.
We are free.
All be free.
All be free.
So in a sitting meditation, there are always times when your thoughts go out. And if you bring yourself back, I did this morning while I was in bed. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am free. I go, that's nice. And this sense of free and liberation in the moment is a really affirmative state of being. And then we are free, and then all be free. We're now really sending that energy out into the world. So that's from Thich Nhat Hanh.
Mm.
So that's the song. You can use it if you want. At the end, we'll do a little practice now. I'll bring it back. And then part 2, during the practice, I'm going to ring a chime because that's always nice. And that will signal us to have some quiet space. And then I'm going to introduce some statements from a meditation teacher named Eknath Easwaran. Anybody familiar with him? I love this guy, Eknath Easwaran. He's from India. He was a contemporary of Gandhi's. He came to the United States on a Fulbright in 1959. He was a professor of literature at UC Berkeley. He started the Blue Mountain Meditation Center in Petaluma, California. And Easwaran taught meditation till his passing in 1999. wonderful, sweet guy. So through our meditation, there'll be silence. If you want to sing or you want to do your own practice, that's certainly wonderful. I'll mention a few of his words as spiritual food. And you can listen, you can reflect, you can let them come, let them go, or you can dwell on them for a few seconds. And I think we'll go about 15 minutes for a meditative time. So get comfortable. It'd be ideal to have a good straight back. And thank you for practicing together. You can take your microphones and mute them. I'll stay up. the central principle of meditation is that we become what we meditate on. Patience can't be acquired overnight. It's like building up a muscle. Every day, you need to work on it. When we go slower, we are more patient. And when we are more patient, we have a choice in how we respond. Through meditation and by giving full attention to one thing at a time, we can learn to direct attention where we choose. Meditation is warm-up exercise for the mind so that you can jog through the rest of the day without getting agitated or spraining your patience. I like that. I'll say it again. Meditation is warm-up exercise for the mind so that you can jog through the rest of the day without getting agitated or spraining your patience. When we meditate every morning, we are putting on armor for the day's battle against our own impatience, inadequacy, resentment, and hostility. The Lord is a good psychologist. He knows the way our minds run. Turmoil can be the Lord's way of tapping us on the shoulder and saying, "Don't forget me." The ancestor of every destructive action, every destructive decision is a negative thought. Don't think the purpose of meditation is to go deep into consciousness. Wrap a blanket around yourself and say, "How cozy. I'm going to curl up here by myself and let the world burn." Not at all. We go deep into meditation so that we can reach out further and further to the world outside. Having come to realize in the first stage of meditation, we are not our bodies. In the second stage, we make an even more astounding discovery. We are not our minds either. Don't try to control the future. Work on one thing you can learn to control, your own responses. As we get deeper and move closer and closer to other people, we feel closer to life as a whole. Lasting change happens when people see for themselves that a different way of life is more fulfilling than their present one. We have a purpose greater than the endless struggle to satisfy personal desires. Love is so exquisitely elusive. It cannot be brought, cannot be badgered, cannot be hijacked. It is available only in one rare form, as the natural response of a healthy mind and healthy heart. When the mind is still, it can become an instrument of peace. When the mind is still, it can become an instrument of peace. When we are at home with ourselves, we're at home everywhere in the world. When we have found peace within ourselves, peace and love will follow us wherever we go. Imagine a hot tub for the mind. That is what meditation is. It can bathe your mind in relaxing thoughts. Imagine a hot tub for the mind. That's what meditation is. It can bathe your mind in relaxing thoughts. The things we think about, brood on, dwell on, exult over, influence our lives in 1,000 ways. And we can actually choose the direction of our thoughts instead of just letting them run along the grooves of conditioned thinking. We become masters of our own lives. Human relationships are a perfect tool for sanding away our rough edges and getting at the core of divinity within us. Human relationships are the perfect tool for sanding away our rough edges and getting at the core of divinity within us. When someone at peace and free from hurry enters a room, the person has a calming effect on everyone present. People say that modern life has grown so complicated, so busy, so crowded, that we have to hurry even to survive. We need not accept that idea. It's quite possible to live in the midst of a highly developed technological society and keep an easy, relaxed pace while doing a lot of hard work. We have a choice. Our deepest need is for the joy that comes with knowing we are of genuine use to others. Our deepest need is for the joy that comes with knowing we are of genuine use to others. We have no need to teach pure motives to the mind. All that is necessary to make the mind pure is to undo the negative conditioning to which it has been subjected. Then we'll be left with pure, unconditioned awareness. The earth was our home. She would have said, but no less was it home to the oxen that pulled the plows, or the elephants that roamed the forest and worked for us. They lived with us as partners, whose well-being was inseparable from our own. The real essentials of life, compassion, kindness, goodwill, forgiveness, are what is fundamental to living as true human beings. It's not action or effort we must surrender. It is self-will. And this is terribly difficult. You must do your best constantly, yet never allow yourself to become involved in whether things work out the way you want. I'll say that one again. It's not action or effort we must surrender, it is self-will. And this is terribly difficult. You must do your best constantly and never allow yourself to become involved in whether things work out the way you want. As meditation deepens, compulsions, cravings, and fits of emotion begin to lose their power to dictate our behavior. We see clearly that choices are possible. We can say yes and we can say no. It's profoundly liberating. Eventually, meditation will make our mind calm, clear, and as concentrated as a laser, which we can focus at will. This capacity of one-pointed attention is the essence of genius. When we have this mastery over attention in everything we do, we have a genius for life. In the spiritual lore of India, there is a story that the Lord whispered only one word in our ears when he sent us into the world: give. Give freely of your time, your talent, your resources. Give without asking for anything in return. This is the secret of living in joy and security. I'm going to share our song. If you could unmute yourself, we'll sing it together and then we'll have some sharing. Unmute. Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
I am blooming.
I am blooming
As a flower.
as a flower.
I am fresh.
I am fresh
As the dew.
as the dew.
I am solid.
I am solid
As a mountain.
as a mountain.
I am firm.
I am firm
As the earth.
as the earth.
I am free.
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 Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
Breathing in.
Breathing in.
Breathing out.
Breathing out.
I am water.
I am
Reflecting
reflecting
what is real.
what is real,
What is true.
What is
true.
I feel
And I feel
there is space
there
There
is
is space
deep inside me.
deep
inside me.
I am free.
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 We are 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 free.
We are
All be
free.
free.
All be free.
All be free.
All
Be free.
All be free.
All be free.
Namaste. Namaste pray. Soon must eat.
Thank you, Eddie.
Sure. Any pieces of that you want to talk about? Those were different pieces of statements from Eknath Easwaran. It wasn't one statement or one quote or one story. It was excerpts. He spoke often. He's a good guy.
Yeah, if you can share those.
I got a handout on it.
Yeah, then we can post it up.
I got it. Yeah, that's how I roll. Takeaways?
I really liked that River was participating with me in the meditation for the first 5 minutes, which I wasn't sure if you were going to be able to participate at all. So that was great.
That's good. Yay, yay, River. Yay. Good.
How old is he again?
He's 2 years and 3 or 4 months. Yep.
Wow. Wonderful.
He's growing.
I love his hair.
Thank you. It's
Serious hair.
starting to get more dreaded, and he won't let me really brush it that often anymore. So
I know.
it's probably gonna have to go soon, but enjoying it while it lasts.
I really like these, quotes and everything, Eddie. Especially just sitting and meditating on them. To be joyful, to give, to participate, but not be attached to the outcome. That's what I remember.
Thanks so much, Ed.
Thank you so much.
Every
Thank you so much.